You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football need. Your football need. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. Sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. Your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy.
Okay, I gotta start with a big smile. Then I can introduce myself. So please excuse me. I'm gonna be beaming ear to ear today. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your Footy Fantasy podcast for the week. Please excuse me as I smile ear to ear all day. Whatever anyone is saying, if I'm grinning like a sheep or fool, excuse me, please. I'm just, it's just eternal joy flowing here. So, this is your Footy Fantasy podcast of the week. Today is the post Manchester Derby. I'm here with two other Manchester United fans. We couldn't find any City fans because, there's hardly any, but if they were even planning to get on here, they all disappeared after the game. So I'm here with OK and Yemi, old regulars here. How you boys doing?
I'm
Good.
great, man. I'm great. I'm happy. I'm beaming. Sorry, I have the Sky Bull on. It was a coincidence, but
It's okay. I mean, you took it off their backs, so you can wear it with some pride. That's okay.
man,
I
I'm
mean,
doing
OK,
great, man.
OK is
It's a
also
great
wearing
day.
blue. So,
Yeah, I'm wearing blue. I wanted to church this morning. So
Me too, man. Came straight from church.
oh, so you were the
I
guys that
think.
went to pray for us.
Oh yeah, so we needed all the prayer. As I was doing praise and worship, I was watching the game. Yeah, man. It's
All
all good.
right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is Footy Fantasy, your regular podcast. Please like, subscribe, and leave comments. Live comments will be taken during the pod. On YouTube, we're at Footy Fantasy. Twitter, we're at Footy AD Fantasy. On Instagram and Facebook, we are also Footy Fantasy. That is FANTASYFOOTIE. So let's dive straight in. Uh, we're going straight to the Manchester Derby. So, Yemi, I'll let you start. What are your thoughts on this game?
It was a very, very good game. We're on the same group, and I try to be quiet today because I have to be because I was using my phone to watch the game and everything. I saw a very good game, and I saw how we have massively improved from our former coaches and former time. I saw a game that reminded me somewhat of the Manchester United under Van Gaal, where we kept the ball very well, we moved the ball very well. We played really well from the back. I have never seen us this good from the back since whenever. We kept possession. The problem was we didn't have one of our friends said we didn't have outlets. I wouldn't say we didn't have an outlet. I just said we did not have minus minus the absence of a speedy winger to help us drive the ball forward and minus us having a good number 10 or striker to keep the ball up top. I think minus that we played the game very well. I do get the point where like we say that listen, Amorim was a little bit cautious. I would be cautious to play in this city at home because regardless of whatever we want to say, they might have lost 10 games in 11 and such. They are still city and this is still a derby. So man, that respect is still needed. And I felt like I think he handled the game pretty well. It was a very, very good win. We can go into the meats and the potatoes later, but it was a very, very good win for us.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, what do you think?
yeah. Oh, I mean, like I was talking off air. I think my my stance originally I was I was gonna come in with a lot of anger and annoyance. Well, obviously, the two goals changed that, but I think also have to stay true to that in a way because I'm always speaks of the performance more than the result, which is good. I think performance wise, United, there's so much wrong with United. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but there's so much wrong with United at the moment, and and we may get a result here and there, but everybody's beating City now. I mean, Palace got a result against City. Feyenoord got a result against City. You know, I think yeah, I'm very happy to have won the game, but at the same time, I think there's some problems that need to be addressed. But very happy, I want United to finish at least top half, which is crazy to say. But I also want to see some good performances. I want to see a semblance of a good team emerging, and and I can't say that that United have the players. Being honest with you, but I think we'll come to that later on.
Okay. Uh, um, I'm gonna take bits of what you two say and add it to what I'm gonna say. Yeah, we managed some aspects of the game well, but I think we showed too much respect to City in the beginning of the game because I kept thinking about the first half, and if that goal didn't go in, City did not really have much chances to score. I couldn't think of a chance they had apart from that goal where you say, "Oh, Nana made a brilliant save." If you know what I'm saying. There was that shot that Foden took that deflected off Maguire's leg, but it was a half chance. It wasn't really like those were the kind of chances City were creating in that game. But prior to that, Fernandez missed. Man United were not creating chances. They were not like crossing the half and creating danger. It was more a game of like we were standing off when City had the ball. They were not pressing City too much. And then when City got into our final third, they would then try and win the ball back. The back five played well, especially the four of Mazraoui, Maguire, Delete, and Licha. The four of them actually played very well in containing what was in front of them. Doku didn't have much joy out of Mazraoui. You could even say Mazraoui dribbled him more times than he dribbled Mazraoui. But if you're going to play that kind of game, you should also have a, a plan to score. Because unless you're trying to play for 0-0. So that was my only problem with the beginning of the game. Because, yeah, City a dangerous team, but as Oke pointed out, so many teams have beaten them recently. So you shouldn't give them too much respect. You should try and go and punch them in the mouth and see how they react. Because I think they're one of those teams that once at this moment you punch them in the mouth, they crumble. And you see
Yeah,
what happened immediately. They got punched. They crumbled.
yeah.
So that was just my take from that game, and I believe the manager will will learn from it. Now, Ogakwame left a comment which I think I have to read right now. And then I also left a comment. Ogakwame said, "Why is Yemi sounding like we lost? Baba ginger yourself. Even okay is forming gentleman. I don't know. I don't know why my voice are not because you see, I say I'm beaming ear to ear. I'm beaming ear to ear. It's been a great day.
I'm happy, man. I
When was
said
the
it.
last time we beat Manchester City back to back? It's been a long time. It doesn't matter how we win. Ayo goes. We have too much respect for them in the first half. Apart from Ahmad, Maguire deserves a good shot, marshalling the defense. Yeah, Maguire had a great game, and it's about time he starts getting some kudos for, especially after everything he's gone through. Now I'm going to say something, and I want both of you uh, to reply. You know, this is something I believe is that process is important, but process is sped up by victories. I don't care so much about performing well. I'm not saying the team shouldn't perform, right? Because ETH was performing poorly and losing, but if he was winning games, he would have had less. vitriol. But what I'm trying to say is that if Amorim is trying to create a process and he keeps losing games, that process will never be created because he won't have time to do it because he'll get fired. Two, the players will never buy into it because players are humans like we all are. You support something that you see that is bearing fruit, and we all tend to not look too much into the future. So this was a game that needed to be won because if this was not won after the game, what the press will be saying is quite different from what they're saying now. Now Amorim looks good, his process is working. If he did not win, if he had lost that game, they would have been he's not pragmatic, he's not trying to adjust to the Premier League and all of that. So what do you guys think? I'll start with you, okay?
Well, just on what you said, right? Ole won games, right? Well, people said that Ole was managing on vibes, so he left. I think United fans don't know what they want, and because like, and I agree with what you just said, right? If Amorim doesn't win games, then no matter what he tries to implement, he'll be out the door, right? And the players will lose faith, and the fans will lose faith, and you know, and then we know what happens next. We've been down this road with Van Gaal, with Moyes, Van Gaal, Jose, um, Ole, Ragnick, and Ten Hag, right? Six managers. Carrick, if you want to add him in there, Giggs as well. We've been down this with Van Nistelrooy. We've been down. We've had a lot of managers. Yes, have had a lot of managers. But I think Ole was winning games, getting us, into second place, whatever. But United fans didn't like that, there was no discernible style of play, even though he was beating the big teams. And, he would go away to City, Prime City, not even like City that's low on confidence. He went to City when they were high on confidence, winning leagues, and he beat them. Fair enough, we didn't win at Anfield, but etc. But let me not go too much back into the past. I think I want Amorim to be given a good chance. My only skepticism, actually, do you know what? I'll hold my skepticism for a few weeks if it remains. But I want to see certain things. I want to see, but what I will also say, and literally I had a call with INEOS about half an hour ago. United do not have the players, all right? And when I said this, he was like, "Here we go." But I will say this: United's front line, right, will not get into half the Premier League teams, and I think United fans need to accept that's where United are. United's front line is probably about 12th, 13th in the league, and it's terrible. And Amorim has to work with that.
Are you saying the starting front line or the entire front line, including the bench?
I would say the entire front line, including the bench, are probably 12th, 13th. And I don't want to now start saying, okay, are they not better than who Crystal Palace have? Who I can't remember who Crystal Palace's front line is, Eze and whoever else that new striker they got. Or are they not better than Brighton's front line of Welbeck or Ferguson or whoever? No, we can go through that, right? And we can look at names on paper. But when you now look at performance level, forget the price tag. If you had never watched football in your life ever, if we went to our grandparents or our moms or our dads or whoever familiar with the Premier League and show them all the front lines and clips on how they perform. The United's own, they'll be like, this is not a good front line. This guy probably don't have to play football. United's front line is so average. United's team is so average, right? Hang on, Sanchez through. Oh, okay, sorry. And I think that I think that that's United's issue. United's issue at the moment is just that the players in the United team are just not good enough. And I'm going to say something that's controversial. I said it in the podcast when I last appeared, and I put Fernandes in there as well. Fernandes is a good player, but I don't think he's a good player. Of course, he's a Premier League player, but I don't think he's the guy. I just don't think I don't think he's that guy that people that United fans seem to think he is. So I have to say that's what Amorim is working with. He really is working with really players who, forget on paper, performance-wise, ability-wise, I just don't think that they're that good.
Okay, I'm going to come in here and say something. I think the thing about football, as a great Johan Cruyff once said, is that a great team should be greater than the sum of their individual parts. The focus on the United players are not good enough. They won't get into this Premier League team, that Premier League team. Okay, I get it. But the thing is that United are not consistently 12th or 13th in the Premier League. They've consistently, the past 5-6 years, been top 6. That is the sum of the team. If you're analyzing the individual parts, when we say that they won't get into this team, they won't get into that team. Now, it's very hard to not analyze them now individually and go, I know 1 or 2 Premier League teams that would make do with Rashford and turn Rashford into something else. And what I mean something else is there would be a team, for example, I'm just using an example like a West Ham, that would pack the boss and play balls over the top and use his pace to stretch teams and maybe have a striker, a bulldozer striker that would, you know what I mean, that they will play off and create goals. It might not necessarily, not saying necessarily that Rashford is a world-class player. I'm just saying that the issue might be that the system and the set of players do not fit with each other. Not necessarily that these players are not good enough. And I'm going to point out what I'm trying to say by picking on one person who was at this club and was not looking good. And he's not part of one of the most dynamic forward lines in the Premier League at this season. Elanga was the guy that everybody was saying was not good enough. He's only playing because he works hard. He's a hard worker. He's not part of one of the forward lines that do far better than this Manchester United forward line, Nottingham Forest. Welbeck, that we sold years ago, left and showed that he could actually have a good Premier League career and did better consistently than some of the strikers that Manchester United bought to replace him. So the issue might not be the players. The issue might be that there has not been a system of getting players that complement each other. Because we can see, for example, we probably have one of the best right wingers in the league at the moment, in Ahmad. That's probably, if you take out Saka, take out Salah, he might be bubbling under those guys. That's the level he has played. And he's just a kid who is growing up. So what I'm not trying to say in essence is things like Bruno is not the man. It's not a question of Bruno being the man. It's a question of creating a team that gets the best out of what Bruno is good at, or creating a team that you can then take him out of. Because if we continue having this issue where Bruno is not the man, he steps out of the team drops, the level drops so badly. Now, you get what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say in essence is that some of these guys that we say are not good enough, even the guys that are coming off the bench are not even trying to be close to them. So there are issues, and I get what you're saying about Amorim needs to work. That's what Amorim is working with. But Amorim is not possibly going to change all 22 players. And it's not possible that all 25, 26 players in this club are not good enough. If that is the case, then we have a serious issue far beyond the manager, because that's another 4 years to change all of that.
Well, I'll ask you that. How many players, I know the exact stat, how many players did Arteta inherit that he has now?
But Arteta has been there for 6 years.
But okay, how many players did Arteta inherit that he had 2 years ago? At year 4. I don't know the stats. I know
most of the players that Arteta have now are new. Saka came under the guy before Arteta. What's his name? Emery. Saka, most of them are gone.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But man, listen, a lot of us,
But
I've,
it's so.
I've heard both of us talk. I've heard both
Mhm.
of us talk. May I just chip in on a few
Yeah,
things?
please do.
We won a game today, and all I'm feeling is just down talk. It's almost discouraging for me. It's discouraging for me. To be honest with you, I'll tell you the
Mhm.
truth. It's discouraging. This
Okay,
player will not make
hold
this
on.
team.
Before
This
you
player
talk,
will
let me
not
just
make
take.
that team.
Yeah, yeah,
Hold
let me
on,
take
hold
these
on.
comments. Let me just take these comments because
Okay.
then please, sorry. Okay,
No,
so
no,
we've
no.
we've got how you're saying that City no get fans, so no banter to fly. That's why we're only talking about Manchester United because we don't even know any City fan to banter. And then Sergio, of course, has to drag Arsenal into it. Say, where are those corner talks again? They should please come. We're waiting for them.
My
Then
brother.
Henry replies to what you were saying about Arteta. He goes that Saka was in the academy, though.
Yeah, it was. It
Mhm.
was. So basically, let's start with this. I hear this comment a lot. Who will make this team? Who will make that team? That's not how ball is being played. That's not how football is being played. You can have a player. We used to say that Welbeck sucked in our time. We said that Elanga sucked in our time, but he went somewhere else and he's playing really well. If we have a Welbeck, this is on our team right now, won't we gladly take him? Football is not played like that. Who will make this team? Who will make that team? This is what you have right now. I do agree with one thing. And I told you, or maybe somebody else, that we do need the technical level of our midfield and this forwards. It needs to improve on the team. That is a yes, without question. So listen, I don't just want us to round up everything. Let's break things down in perspective. We have one of the best defenses in the league. Nobody has really broken us down and scored. Most of the goals that we've considered is either mistakes or probably set pieces in a corner. Go and check the games we've played under Amorim. Go and check. We are hard to break down. We have not conceded much. We have passed the ball a lot better from the back forward. A lot better, regardless of whoever is playing. Most of the goals we've conceded are either mistakes or set pieces. The goal we conceded today was off a mistake and it was strictly against the run of play.
It was
We
also a
played.
set piece. It was from a
It was
corner,
also a
too.
set piece. So this we are here. This man, we won a game. Man, listen, Man City, the last I checked, they are still the winners of the league. They carry the cup and they've beaten the mess out of us under most of the coaches that have come. What gives us the right to say that because they've lost 10 games, that we can walk into their home and beat them in their home? We beat them in their home. We didn't beat them in our home. You think that is easy? We are not far not. Manchester United is not far not. When City plays Manchester United, it's a dogfight. Forget your form. Your form in the league goes into the trash. When City plays this in Liverpool, your form in the league goes into the trash. It's a different game. We beat them in their home. How many times can we say that we've done that? You think these players, some of these players there, they were there when City dealt with us 6-1, that this
Haaland.
Foden and Haaland scored hat
It
trick.
was double hat trick.
Double hat trick. What did they play this season? Yeah, today. Where was Haaland today? Nowhere. Where was Foden minus that one chance? Foden was probably their best player today, in my opinion.
Foden and De
And
Bruyne.
he had nothing. We played well. The only thing that we did not do is when nothing was sticking up front, and the reason why nothing was sticking up front was simply because the technical level there needs to improve. I'm not going to say that they are all trash. So again, my listen, let us redirect our thoughts and let's break things down. I'm a guy that likes, maybe because listen, Buichi knows me. He's a coach. I'm a coach. The way we look at games sometimes is a little different. I like to break things down. I don't sum up all parts. Buichi is right with what he said, that some of these players, you take them away from our team, you put them in another team, and they are good. Rashford, I don't know what is wrong with him. I hope his mental place is good. If he needs to leave to go and be happy and
He
play
should
football,
leave.
he should leave.
Far. It's
Find
a
a
go.
place where you can play with joy and peace. Find a place and play. This life is too short. The career we have is short. The career he has is short. In 5-10 years now, nobody's talking about you playing soccer. You need to win. So again, yes, do I believe that we need to improve? Yes. You buy good wingers, you buy some 10s and a 9, and this team has changed completely. But that
There's
does
a
not mean
comment
that we
here I
have
want to
fast
take
on the
because
team.
this comment points to something that is very important, and this is this. Ayo says the technical level and physicality level needs to improve massively. The
Very
technic-
correct.
yes, the technical level is different. I'm going to put that aside. I think, okay, and yeah, I mean, you would agree with this that physically, this team has a weird thing where they all look weak. There's
Yes.
there's no the only person I've seen in that team, only two people that I know in that team that are dogs. When I mean physical dogs, is maybe Mazraoui and Lika. The rest of them do not look like
I will add two names to
Even
that. I'll add two names to
even
that.
with
I'll add two names to
Martinez,
that.
I think
Let
it's
us add.
more
Let us
just
add. Let
because
us add
he plays with
Martinez.
Braga, right?
Oh, let's add Martinez. Hello.
Mhm, yeah. Yeah, he
Okay.
said
Let's
Martinez
add
plays with Braga.
Martinez. Let's add
I think
Martinez.
Martinez
Let's add
is
Casemiro. I don't want to talk. I don't. No,
Because
hold on. Hold
Casemiro
on a
is not
second.
physical,
Hold on a
man. Like
second.
like
Let me
someone
make my
says
point.
here
Let me
that
make my point. I'll make my
someone
point.
says here that Ogate is a dog too. That's true. But
Ogate
please
is a
go ahead.
dog. Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Hold on. Let
Mhm.
me make my point. The only thing about dogs, how do you measure dogs? People that have the calmness, people that can stand their game. Casemiro can stand his game. It doesn't have the legs. If you're saying physicality, if you're saying the leg stuff, yes. But in terms of mental and dog fight, I'll go into a fight there with Casemiro because he has the experience. He may not have the legs, but he has it. There are dogs in this team. Ahmad is a dog. You think
Yeah,
you
I might choose a
Ahmad is a
fighter. That's
dog.
true. I might because there's a ball in the first half where it was played up and Nunes was taller than him, so Nunes won the header. He just waited for the ball to drop and just put his body between Nunes and took the ball,
Yeah.
and Nunes had to slide to kick it and throw in, and that's that thing. Sometimes physicality is not about how big you are, how
It's not
strong
about
you are, but
no
how much fight you
fight.
have.
Do you
And
have?
that thing can be trained. It can be trained. You can be trained to
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
I believe you can be trained to fight.
True.
A team can learn how to fight and fight. Get into the pitch. Like that thing that happened with Arsenal in corner kicks. It was just because these guys were not. I believe the next time we're playing Arsenal on January 12th, right? Let's
It'll
come
be
and
a different story.
let Arsenal come and play those corners again. They will see a different game. So
True. Very true.
you progress. The team
Very
will
true.
progress from that. And we're gonna have to move away from Manchester United quickly, very soon. So before we go, we'll take comments on Manchester United, and then we have to move on because we have spent a long time on dissecting Amorim and that. And so let me take these comments through. Henry came back to say that Saka came through the ranks. Ayo goes that United fans are either too high or too low on our players. We don't have any level elite quality talent. Okay, period. Okay. Oga Kwame said, thank you, Yemi. When you were saying that we won, he made that comment that, because it looks like we're being too negative. And he goes that Maguire silenced Haaland. We played well. We kept them quiet. Our final thought is just not good enough. But please let us not minimize this. No, we're not trying to minimize it.
No,
I
no,
am
no, no, no.
not
This
trying
right
to. Yeah.
here is the
Mhm.
comment right here.
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
and
let's
Maguire deserves his flowers because
boy.
well, in a few years ago, Maguire was the guy they were talking about like Rashford. That's why sometimes we have to understand that sometimes a team is more important than the players,
Yes,
because
very correct.
if you get a good system and players are willing to fight and play in that system, they will play well.
Very
Um,
correct.
and then Henry said, "Oga Kwame, I told you." Haaland is being humbled at the moment. Yeah, since Haaland said Ateta should be humble, Haaland has learned what humility really means. He's still in the doghouse. And then Henry goes, Arsenal are not about corner kicks alone, though. Henry, will you keep quiet? If there were no corner kicks in football, Arsenal will not score goals.
Hey, Jesus.
If there were no if there were no set pieces in football, Arsenal will have only 2 or 3 goals this season. Whilst this focus of emphasis on Arsenal and their corner kicks, because since last season, Arsenal have scored 20-something goals from corner kicks. How many teams have done that? I think it's 40
Let me
something
say
goals. I
this
might be
though.
exaggerating a bit.
I will say this with all brightness and honesty, lifting my head up. I wish we have that ability on our team to
Oh
score
yes,
goals.
I'm envious.
So I am
Not
mad
good.
envious. That's why I don't throw shade at them. They
But
found a
Manchester
way.
United have maybe scored 1 or 2 corners in the past 5 years. Good
Oh,
evening to 3 point collectors only. I can only said 3 point collectors. If you're an Arsenal fan, they're not greeting you.
oh
Just so you know,
man.
if you're a Liverpool fan, they didn't say good evening, only us. So raise up your hand if you heard that good evening. Just
Oh my God, but you are dissing us now. You are
there's nothing
you are
bad.
Mr. Moderator dissing us.
The thing,
There's
the
nothing
thing,
bad about adding corner
the,
kicks or an easy way to get goals into their two box. Henry, what we're saying is that an Arsenal player will take the ball down the line, turn around, there's nowhere to go. You just kick it on someone's leg because a corner kick is like a penalty. So they know what they're doing. That's what they kept doing. They'll go to the corner flag and kick it on your leg and get a corner. And, like, come on now. They say that red jersey looks good, by the way. Oh, thank you, Akinola. Thank you, Akinola. Like, haters going hate today, but it's okay. It's okay. We have that time. Harry, use your Google. Don't ask me for evidence. Harry said, "What's your evidence?" Don't ask me for evidence. It says Arsenal have scored more from open play than corners. Okay, you bring your evidence. Go and bring your evidence. I said Arsenal only score goals to corner. Bring your evidence. Prove me wrong. So we'll move on. But enough with the Arsenal Manchester United banter. Let's move on. We're going to go into it. INEOS quickly. This one we're not spending more than 2-3 minutes on this. I mean,
Yes, sir.
I think okay is gone.
no, I'm here.
So
I'm here.
No, he's there.
I'm
He's there.
here.
He's there.
okay,
My battery is dying, so I have to put it on charge.
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
all right. Yeah. Okay is not at home. He couldn't make it on time. So what are your thoughts on INEOS parting ways with Dan Ashworth?
So basically, in the short sense of things, I think everything has leaked out. Everybody has gotten time to read and listen to whatever needs to be listened to understand the whole thing. I just feel like they could have done their due diligence, but I also understand why like it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. This A Borada was gotten right after Homeboy came in, Dan came in. So I think he couldn't. It wasn't a brother. It wasn't brother that brought him in. It was Brausford that brought in.
Mm-hmm. Dan Ashworth.
So yeah, that brought in. So listen, I can understand, but it's at the end of the day, the time they let him go was what hit me. Like it is right before the transfer window, and right before we did our first major signing towards the transfer window. So I'm just thinking that maybe like this stuff has been said. They've had meetings, and then like this, and there's a clash. There's a clash between how Dan sees football going forward in terms of recruiting, players staying, players going, style of play, three at the back, four at the back, compared to where this in Borada, Wilcox, and everybody were going. So this it is quicker. I'm happy that we actually didn't linger on with the misfit and it caused something worse going forward. If it's not working, go. But what I did not like, and I'm going to say it, and I saw it in few places, was when like after the game was played, he was with his family, his wife, and he was called into the office, and it was, I don't know if this is true. If this is true, then this we need to do better. We called into the office. He was told that he was let go, and he was made to walk, marshaled out the door in front of his family and workers.
And through the press conference as well, I think they said that
And
he
through the
was.
press conference,
Yeah.
we could, I mean, I know that some people call it ruthless, the club is being ruthless and stuff, but I don't think that was necessary. But yeah, that's just my point. But everybody has read up on it, so
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah. So that's that.
Yeah. Okay. You have anything to add?
Yeah, I think just very quickly, a couple of minutes, just to give my thoughts on that. I think when it first happened, it looked very bad on INEOS because when when INEOS started putting together the Avengers dream team backroom staff, I remember telling some United fans, football doesn't work like that, right? I remember saying if it was so easy, right, then what will happen is this, right? Any of us, right, could go and set up a company, right? And let's say we get a capitalist firm to give us 30 million, right? Let's say a billion dollar, trillion dollar venture capitalist firm. Say, you know what, here's 30 million. It's a drop in the bucket. And we go and hire the chief engineer from Apple, the chief engineer for the chief operating officer from Google, the chief technical officer from Microsoft, and that's it. We think the company is going to be a success, and that's what United did. And United thought, you know what? They'll hire the best COO in Barada, the best director of football, the best this, the best that, the best this. Dave Brailsford there, who is the best aggregator of marginal gains guy in the world, whatever. And they thought that would just be a success. It doesn't work like that. And I called this out almost a year ago now, as in 6-8 months ago. I called it. I said it's not gonna. It does, life and employment doesn't work like that. And I said it. I said it's just gonna be too many people making decisions. And lo and behold, is what came out. And and if it's true, obviously we don't know what's true, what's not. That Ashworth had Graham Potter, Eddie Howe, and somebody else as recommendations to replace Ten Hag, and they looked at him like, is that it? Is that your phone book? Is that what you got to offer? Then I don't know, but I hope it's a lesson learned for Jim Ratcliffe that you just can't assemble best in class, because how many times have we heard the phrase best in class, best in class, best in. It
Yeah,
doesn't work like that.
yeah, they kept saying that about Glazers. Go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes you have to just build best in class from in-house.
From scratch, yeah.
Yeah, from scratch. And then the guy who becomes best in class may be a guy that you have already that becomes best in class. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I think I agree with what all of you have said. I'll just add that the problem you have with Manchester United is the scale of Manchester United. And with all due respect to Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal,
Go.
I'm sorry, but you are not Manchester United. This is just the truth. It's the same problem that happens with Bayern Munich, the same problem that happens at Real Madrid sometimes, and Barcelona is the other one, where people are not patient enough to see you work. If you don't hit the ground running and the chairman is not really, really on your side, you will get caught fast. The only reason why Woodward lasted so long in Manchester United was because the Glazers were okay. They were like, "You're making us money. You're okay." We know that if Woodward was the CEO of Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, he would have been fired a long time ago. But the Glazers were all about money, not trophies. It seems Ratcliffe is going, okay, look, you guys have not been acting like Manchester United should be acting. So now I'm going to be, but then it now flip around and go, so why did you keep Ten Hag after Ten Hag had such a poor season last year and then spend money and then fire him again? So what I'm saying in essence is, if you want to be ruthless all the way, because you do not have too much time to get these decisions wrong. Because the way Ratcliffe is being ruthless, guess what is happening is he's forgetting that with every wrong decision he makes, the fans are going, you don't know what you're doing. And at a point, it will now be him and Omar Barada that are left carrying this cake themselves. So that's just so they should also learn to, one, like you said, Jamie, do their due diligence, and two, let process play out. Because as Okay said, you have to learn to build your own best in class. If you want to just, if you want to make apple juice, you're either going to go buy the best apples and press them, or you grow the tree. Grow the tree, then get the apples, pick the apples and you press the juice. So you cannot just wake up and there's apple juice in the fridge every day, organic, straight from the tree. No, it's not going to happen like that. That's just my own. So I'll take some quick comments. Ogakwame says, I agree that he agrees with both of you. The embarrassment was not necessary. Fair enough. Okay, Harry Bitoku went to bring evidence, and he's trying to say I'm wrong. Arsenal scored 29 goals, 15 open play, 14 set pieces, and that's a big team. Henry, that's a big team.
Mr. Moderator.
That's it. Like, name another big team in Europe that almost 50% of their goals are from corner kicks.
Mr. Moderator.
We are telling you that Arsenal cannot score goal from except if it's corner kick. You are telling us that we are now, my friend, you're lucky Arsenal scoring goal from corner. These corners will disappear one day. You come here and you'll be crying for us.
Why didn't the corners work for them in their last game?
Because people have started catching them now. You didn't see what Adama Traore was doing to Saliba. It will continue. Long may it continue.
Yeah, man. It's hopefully the board has learned. I don't think that we'll be seeing a director of football anytime soon. I think that they're just going to promote from within, push people up from within. Wilcox and Vavel. They have experience and they
we'll see.
We'll see. But hey, man, but hey, I'm all about this. I do believe that in this jam. Let me ask you a question. I know that we're trying to move off this Manchester United thing, but I like to just pick your brain a lot, and then we go back and forth. But it's just what it is. If you have the chance to bring in three quality players in January, and then just let us be realistic, either on loan and stuff. Do you have some people that you can bring in and say that they will come here, and then they can bring some improvements?
No, not off the top of my head. I can name positions because one of the players I would want to bring, is not realistic, would be Alvaro Fernandez that left. Bring him back, but it's not realistic to bring him back mid-season. But I would bring back a player like him, bring back a left wing back, a left wing back. Definitely bring in another defensive midfielder so you can play Ugarte and someone else, and maybe push Bruno up, push Bruno to be part of the two guys behind the striker, the 2 10s.
How about Meno?
Meno, you can also, when you bring in someone else, you now have an ability to rotate, because you can also push Meno. You can play three, so you just need another one, because a club like Manchester United should not have only Ugarte. And then I definitely will bring in ironically another striker, someone to help, a proven striker, someone that can get goals, a brawny guy. If you would say someone like Chris Wood, someone like Chris Wood. People are going, they need somebody like Isaac. I think we already have that kind of person in. We have the silky kind of guy in Højlund. We need that brawny guy, the corner kick goal guy, the guy that will go and batter a defense for 10, 20, 60 minutes, and then Højlund can come in and destroy them with his speed. Yes, but then if he's tired, who's coming off the bench for him?
But the thing is, if you mention a good name,
hold on. Okay, I was saying something.
Okay. But United tried to do that with what's his name that Ten Hag brought in. What's that guy's name? That Dutch guy.
Where goes
Zexi?
And come on, no. Like I think that patch job that United do now have been doing for the last few years. Bring this player along. No, it doesn't. United either build properly or don't build at all.
Yeah, get a player.
Yeah, get a proper player and spend the money.
Yeah.
But that said,
player. Igalo.
The problem we have as Manchester United is this, right? We do not go and buy the £30 million guy. We do not go and get that free transfer. You know what I mean? We're always going for the guy that we are paying real money for. We're not like what we did this summer. Our best buy this summer was a £50 million guy or £12 million guy, Mazraoui. You need to go and look for those kind of guys. Someone you know that even if he plays only 2 seasons, the money you've spent on him is not too much, and you buy him at the top of his game. So this guy is leaving a free transfer. Get him. he's just going into the team. Then you can spend money on the kids you're building. The Euro buy is good. You're buying him for 10 years, so you spend money on him.
Very
Yeah,
good.
you take a risk on a Zexi because it's also not much, but you also need to buy guys that come in and work. Because at the end of this season, you're going to lose, give or take, 6-7 players.
Yeah.
And so you need to replace those guys because you just can't dump all of them. But honestly, we have to move on because
Okay.
we have about 10 minutes to go. So quickly, I'll take this last comments. Harry comes back with set pieces and corners, though. I know free kicks, corner, across her head, they're all the same thing. It's basically you put the ball down, you line up players, you fight them, you push them to one side, and one man is free. It's the game plan. We know. And he goes, "This is laughable, though." And then Ayo comes with no set piece, no corner, no party, no set piece goal, no party. Arsenal, we all know you guys. And then Ogakwame says, I agree. Ogakwame says something else after that. I went back to his own comment. He goes, I like this moderator. Give them. I'm not here to give them. I'm just here for Arsenal fans. I don't want to be humble. You people are corner scorers. That's not lie.
Because we beat Man City today, your mouth, you just they give.
Man, winning feels good. Winning feels good. I've been suffering, man. So let me enjoy it.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
so
You want to
quickly,
move on. I am sorry.
quickly.
You want to move on.
We
If
have
I
to
see
move on.
Ten Hag, I don't tell you. You can't hold me.
Please. I don't want you to go to prison. Don't
It's
say anything on. Don't say anything on TV. This is on record. This is everybody's watching. Something happens to Ten Hag tomorrow, they can jail you. So we all know your plans. Don't say it. Let's skip it in this thing. We can do it. We'll just catch him. I may not say anymore.
He said
So,
we.
No, just shush. You're talking too much. So, new Champions League format, yay or nay? First, before we even add any comments, let's just vote. I'm a yay. I like the format. Yemi? Yay, you
I like
it?
the format. Yeah,
Okay, yay or nay?
I don't even know too much about it, but I'm a traditional guy. I like, you know what?
So you're a nay.
I'm a nay.
Okay, good. So we'll start with you. Why nay?
Because I think the old format was, but okay, let me not say the European Cup format in the 70s and 80s, but the old format of group stage, you play everyone home and away. There's no bias, I think, yeah, that could have been tweaked. But I think this current format of, you play one team at home, you may not play them away, you play a team away, you may not play them at home. There's I think this is a wider discussion, but I don't think that the issue with the Champions League was the format. I think the issue with the Champions League and football in general is that there's probably about four or five world-class players, and apart from that, everyone is just kind of like average and good. So I think that's the issue with football, not the Champions League format. I think UEFA have gone off the deep end in trying to change the Champions League format, whereas the issue is just, there's just not many top players in the game now, in my opinion.
Fair enough. That's really out of the deep end there. As you said, UEFA has gone off the deep end. You also brought a comment out of the deep end about there are not enough world class players.
Well, I will quantify it by saying this right very quickly. I was having a debate with a Liverpool Liverpool supporting friend of mine, and he said, "Oh, Salah is better than Prime Figo." And I thought about it, right? And I thought, you know what? Yeah, Prime Figo, if he was playing now, would be the best player in the world by far. He'll win Ballon d'Or, right? But Prime Figo, when he was playing, was maybe top 10, top 15 in the world, and that to me is how far football has fallen. I've got very out there views on what's world class. I don't think that there are many world class players now, but that's just my opinion. I think there's a lot of good players and very good players, but world class, no. And I think that's what's making, UEFA has tried to now change things and stuff like that. But I think that football is very different now to what it was 10, 15
I
years.
I agree with you. Except that I agree and disagree with you on one side and the other side. Quickly on I disagree with you on the side that that's why UEFA is saying changing things because they're not enough. No, no, the UEFA is changing things because of the super club. They're trying to find a way to get bigger clubs more money so that they do not, because the super club thing will not die, and the courts have said they cannot stop it. They have no legal right to force teams to
Yeah.
be in the Champions League. So they're trying to kowtow to the big teams and give them more money. So
But
that's one side of it.
if you think about it, if you think about it, the super club thing is because clubs want more share, and I think you're gonna see TV money dwindle. So those big clubs want more share, but then the TV companies are probably gonna be saying that the quality of product is not as good. So that's why
No,
the
no,
super
no.
clubs are
Hold
trying
on,
to
hold
push.
on, hold on. No, no, no. Now hold on. There's something there's something that happens in sports that I think always happen is that we have this thing called nostalgia, the nostalgia complex, where we look back and say, like you said, Figo would have definitely won Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I agree. Figo would have been one of the best players in the world now,
Would have been
but
the
there's
best,
some
I think.
probably the best, probably not, because this is what has actually happened in football. It's that I think the floor of football has been raised and
Mm.
then the bottom has been dragged down. Yes. If I mention some players that played in the Premier League, if we think about it, some players that played in this Premier League in the 90s and early 2000s, or players that were playing in the Champions League, you will be shocked. If you go and watch some videos of some Champions League games or some Premier League games in the 90s, they were all kick up, kick ball, kick up. The ball was just boom, 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 boom. Like what I'm trying to say is that a lot of the players that we thought were good were actually very good, but they were so much better than their peers because some of their peers were rubbish. The average footballer in the 90s might have not been as good as the average footballer today. But what has happened is this, that players have been trained out, individuality has been trained out of players. The thing that made the Figos, the Zidans, the Ronaldo, the Lima, the
Ronaldinho's.
Rivaldos, Ronaldinho,
Yeah.
the things that made them stand out has been trained out. When you go to academy football now, players are taught to pass first, to press, they're taught shape, they're taught these things more. Those days, it was when you were not a great player. What I mean, when you were not specially talented, that you would be expected to fit into formation. I'm not saying people didn't play formation, but if you think about it, the teams, for example, the teams of Capello in the 90s were those teams that would squeeze guys out. He would take average players, squeeze guys out. The other teams that had great players would just, depend on passing the ball, not even defending too much. It wasn't about the level was of defending was not like today. The defending in the Premier League today, even though the Premier League scores more goals, the defending is out of this world. Like the amount of teams that press, the way teams run. Come on, I can remember some Manchester United games that Manchester United players were playing, and the other team has stopped running like after 60, 70 minutes. I'm not trying to take anything away from Manchester United. They were great teams because they were actually also doing what they were doing in the Champions League, and they were always close. The Champions League, even if they didn't win as much, but the gap between Manchester United at a point, even Liverpool and the rest of the Premier League was Chelsea, and it was so far. And
Wait,
now,
wait,
if you
wait,
look
wait.
at
Let me ask this question. So you think
mhm.
defending now is better than it was before? But if you go through the defenders in the Premier League 10, 15 years ago, you could drop, especially in the top six teams. You
Mhm.
you had you had Rio and Vidic. You
Mhm.
had Terry, Carvalho. You had Gallas, Ashley Cole. You had even going back to Adams' time. They were world
Yes,
class
but
defenders.
what you are now looking at only a few teams. Go and look at who were the defenders of the Southampton teams. Who were the defenders in those Ipswich teams, the Sunderland teams? Who were the defenders in those teams? Some of those defenders were poor. Like when I mean brutal, they were brutal players. Now you would go to any Premier League team. Okay, look at it. that Wolves, for example, or no, not Wolves, sorry, Nottingham Forest, for example, have these two unknown defenders. Are two of the best, the top, probably two of the best centre back partnership in the Premier League, because these guys all know how to defend now. They like the team. What I'm trying to say is that the tactical part of football has gone up. I'm not trying to say that the players now are more professional. Let me put it that way. They're more professional than they were in the past. So the floor has been lifted, but the top has been dragged down, meaning that what happened with Messi and Ronaldo wouldn't have happened in the 90s, but Messi and Ronaldo wouldn't just, though, to be fair, if Messi and Ronaldo also played in the 90s, they would have been also out of this world. But what I'm trying to say is that they were two of the last great out of this world players that, that from that level of them, Zidane, them Ronaldo, the Lima. It will be very hard to get a player like that. With all due respect to Salah, I think Salah is a great player, but Salah is just a
He's
more
efficient. He's
effective,
efficient.
a more effective Henry. He's got nothing on Thierry Henry. He's got nothing on him, with all due respect. And I don't like Thierry Henry because he was an Arsenal player, but Salah has got nothing on that guy with regards to flair. But that's what players have been taught now. Get into the box, take chances. That is why Haaland is going to score far more goals than Ronaldo de Lima ever did. If you go by the stats, you say he would probably be one of the greatest nines ever. But he was never better than Ronaldo de Lima. But because football's changed and started training players, let's go get goals. Don't dribble 5 players. You don't have to do it. That's just it. Now, on the side of TV, on the side of the Champions League, what do you call it, format, TV teams do not care about quality of product. They only care about viewers. How many people are watching? What makes this one a success for TV is that a lot of people will watch the last 2 games, for example, because there's a chance Real Madrid could get knocked out. But of course they won't, because they have a higher chance of qualification, but they're not going to get automatic qualification. The struggles of Manchester City and Real Madrid and PSG has kind of made it more interesting. It's not an interesting product because fans like the unpredictability. If you get what I'm saying, it's not boring. So that's the TV part. I think the TV guys won't mind, because I think people are going to keep tuning in to watch. But where the TV guys will not be happy is PSG, Man City, and Real Madrid get knocked out early. Then we have an issue. That's what I think. But I have to agree with you that a lot of the players from the 90s that you mentioned, if they were playing today, they would be a class above everyone, because they were actually very good. I'm not trying to say they were not good. What I'm saying is that the peers that they had, like, that's just what I think. A Brighton team is a good example of this, where you can get average players, what you would call the average footballers from the of this period, put them in a team, drill them well, and they're giving big teams problems. The Dynamo Kievs that were doing that in the Champions League had legendary players like Shevchenko and Rebrov. Who's the legendary player in Brighton? Who's the legendary player in Red Bulls and all of these teams? They're just, so. And then there's a comment here for you. Okay, I'll start. It goes, Ayo goes, this new format has jeopardy, but I like that. But it has too many games. I don't like that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what clubs want. They want more money. They got to play games. They don't want more money. It's a balance. The players too just need to fight for themselves here. Ayo goes, okay, and Itata are the biggest nostalgia merchants I know. Every great player from the past is better than everyone right now. And then Ayo goes, well said, Bucci. I couldn't have said it any better. I did say it to impress you. And then Soji comes out with Amorin out. Soji, I know your house in Canada. I know your house in Canada. Before you come to Texas to find me, I will find you. The way things are going, I'll be the one to come to that. I'll come and teach you some Texas sense. Yeah. Let me. Do you want to add anything on this format? Um,
Yeah, I'm in support of it because I enjoy the big games. I've actually enjoyed this. You said most of what I wanted to say, like the it is it's very unpredictable. Big teams are getting beat, and big teams are playing big teams or quite early in the group stage, where you're having Madrid play Man City actually in the group stages, and these games count for everything. Well, like, so I actually enjoy the fact that you are not leading 6 points and then you chill. Every game you play counts. And then if you don't play well, you can be dropped. A big team can be dropped out of 16 or 18. You don't know where you're going to stand. I actually like it. And I'm saying that a lot of people are taking the games exceedingly very, very personal. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I've been watching most of the games, and the games are of high quality. I like it.
as it stands, PSG are going to be knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
Man City could also get knocked out.
Hmm.
I don't think they will, but they could get knocked out.
It's like
Um,
any team can get
because
knocked out.
Man City is actually playing PSG. If PSG beats Man
Yeah,
City, PSG will overtake Man City. If Man City
yeah.
beats PSG, there's at least I think PSG's chances in the Champions League will be slim. Real Madrid, I mean, they could still mathematically still be knocked out, but they
Yeah.
have a higher chance of. And to put this in perspective, Monaco, Atalanta, Benfica, Sporting, Feyenoord are most likely going to be in the
Europe.
final. They're going to be in the qualification this thing stages. They have a higher chance of getting there than Man City,
Yeah.
or Real Madrid, or what's their name, PSG. But now, what makes it more interesting is that Lille, Brest are
They do
going.
well.
They're going to most likely have automatic qualification, and so
They
they're
do.
chilling one round.
And that's why I want to say something like the only thing that UEFA might have some stress with is what you just mentioned. The big teams might be out. So then, are you going to lose this in viewership when you are seeing Brest play like Lille in the quarterfinal and stuff, and there's not much viewership. So that's the only place where I can say that there might be a problem. That like you don't see the big teams, but like if anything, all teams are being shook. All teams are shook right now. You want to be at the top places, and you can't count out any team. Anybody you're playing right now in this group stage, you better come with your A game because
I
it's not.
I
That's the
like.
only.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I
No,
thought
no,
you
no,
had
no, 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 no.
finished.
You can't continue.
I like the old style of
Hmm.
Champions League, but since the Champions League was changed, and before when it was only the champions, and they brought in the expanded format, and they brought in the leagues and all of that. There's always been a problem with that, where you could say if you put a Barcelona, a Manchester United, a Bayern Munich, and Man City now, but then it would have been maybe an Arsenal, an AC Milan. They were always going to get through from their group,
Sure.
and it would now be the smaller teams like the Romas, the Dortmunds fighting for second position. I like the slight change because these things are changing. I'm progressive. Let it keep changing. I don't like that thing that Real Madrid were winning the Champions League, and to me they were never the best team in Europe, and they were winning the Champions League. With all due respect to them, I'm not saying this because I'm a hater. It's just a simple truth that they were not the best team in Europe, and they don't want three Champions League because they just um kind of flourish in a knockout format. That Real Madrid style of play, which the style would have suffered in this format, because it was like these guys would just just win their group and then going to knockout and just win games. Atletico Madrid, a very negative team, would be getting to finals. Atletico Madrid was never close to being the best teams. Manchester City was like the best team in Europe for about 4 or 5 seasons. Could only get to one final, and then I think they got to they got to one and lost, and then they got to the second one and won. Chelsea, the one of the worst Chelsea teams of all time, won the Champions League, and so you
And
come.
that's and then so this you're making my point for me to as a point where in those teams, in those groups, you have 4 teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like first tier, they get the top. Second tier, third tier, fourth tier. Most of the time, the third and fourth tier, in most cases, they drop. The third tier find themselves to Europa League. Unless if there's a miracle somewhere and there's an upset. Here, there's room for a major upset. So man, if you are bad, you are playing 8 games, man. You can't say that no. You're playing 8 teams. That's 16 games. So now it's not like I'll play 3 games. I know that if I can mathematically, if you have 9 points, you are good. Mathematically, if you have 9 points or 10 points, you've qualified.
Yeah.
This one, man, and then you don't know, and this one, man, you know who you are playing. In this one, you are playing 8 games, and it has been randomly picked. So it's not like this. Is now you are playing big games. You are playing against big teams, medium teams, and small teams. Everybody stands a chance over the length of team. Everybody stands a chance.
Yeah.
So like it's not like I'm Madrid. If I play Brausford, if I play Brest, I have the chance. If I beat them home and away, that's 6 points. I've padded 6 points. I'll go and meet this top team. I draw, and then if I get 9 points, I'm good. I'm good to go. This one, man, if you might beat a small team and the big team is waiting for you to slap the mess out of you.
Yeah,
So that's
like
what I'm saying.
Liverpool have won. Liverpool have won the top of the. Have won all their games. Right?
Yes.
They're
yes.
not even sure of finishing top.
Yeah, and I like that.
I mean, they have they've qualified automatically, which is fair enough, but they're not sure of finishing. Like they're not topping this group, And so if they had lost one game out of, they would have time to say, okay, we're not even sure of automatic qualification at this stage.
Take all the games seriously, bro.
Yeah.
There's no chilling. Now, if you want to rotate, but whatever you do, there's no letting down unless you know for sure. And every game we are seeing played, man, teams are coming to play. This Champions League is mad, man. Teams are playing real good football. You miss a game, you want to go and watch that game because the highlights. Thierry already said it now that he's not a big fan of this thing in the beginning, but there's no dull moment in this Champions League. Small teams are beating big teams are planting big teams. But like it's just like I said, the only problem for UEFA is if teams like City, PSG, those big teams that draw major revenue, that draw major crowd and huge support, they start dropping out in group stages or quarterfinals, and then you start finding the luck of the draw. Whatever happened, you find Brest in the semi-final. It's a good story. It's a story for the books, but like, would you have much viewers watching it then? And then there's all these big teams, they have power. So man, they can go to UEFA and say, man, this thing don't work. But as it's going right now, I have no problem with it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, well, if a lot of big teams get knocked out, I promise you, UEFA will.
They will review it again. They might.
Yeah, definitely. But let's give it a chance and let's see how it looks.
Yeah.
At the end. So yeah, OK had to drop off because OK was not at home and he watched the game on his phone and he killed his battery. So he had to drop off because his battery is 1%. So, but OK, thank you for coming on, and I really appreciate you for showing today. We're about to get to the end. We're going to finish in about a minute. I've taken all the comments that have come in, so I'm just doing a roundup before we take the kudos and donkeys of the week. The kudos and donkeys of the week. You got any? I got my kudos. I got my donkey.
I got my kudos for the week, and my kudos for the week is for sure my team, Manchester United. Everything else, we won, we are good, matching on. My donkey for the week is Man City, and therefore it's everybody knows. That's it, straight.
Okay. My kudos of the week, you already have said what I was going to give it to. So I'm going to give my kudos of the week to Brest and to Lille. Brest won beat PSG, and they've
done really well
everywhere. Lille is like Lille. I don't know what's going on with Lille. Lille too, they won at Stormgrass. So basically, between those two teams, they've only lost one game or two games, one each out of 6 games. They're looking like they're automatically qualified, but they definitely booked their place in the next round of the Champions League. And now they're hanging around the top dogs, and if they win one more game, they're in the automatic qualification. And so I want to give that. Oh yes, Ayo has a kudos, and that kudos actually is one that we missed. He goes, kudos is Ahmad and Amorin. Another one is Maresca. He has
For
done a
sure.
great
Yeah,
job so
yeah.
far.
Very
Yes,
good job.
I cannot. I know my Chelsea fans, some of them, my Chelsea fan friends, they will, my friends that are Chelsea fans, they will be surprised to say this because outside I troll them all the time. But man, Maresca showed a lot of courage and he showed a lot of grit. He dropped the right players and he's reaping fruits for his hard work. It's a good hire.
Even Liverpool's coach too.
Yeah, but we're not talking about. We're not giving him. So this is Maresca and Amorin's time. Slot has taken enough kudos. So it's taken enough. So yeah. So let's give Maresca and.
Liverpool.
No, it's not beef. It's not beef. Every week they're like, we've been praising Slot for all seasons. Like let him.
He deserves it now. He deserves it.
Yes, but Maresca now. Let's give Maresca this one.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
Ahmad too. Ahmad in particular. Thanks for pointing that because Ahmad has, he deserves a lot of kudos. This was a great game. I remember. I want to raise my hands up and say I remember when people were bashing. What's his name? Ten Hag for not playing him, and I'll say he's a kid. That they should give him time. He will come through. But I know he should be played. And so now people were calling me out this week, saying, "Oh, we told you about this kid that you're saying." I said, "Okay, look, I say someone should not wait for chances to be given. When a chance is given, take it." And this guy has been taking his chances. Then how he won't give him a second chance, but he will come and he'll prove himself. And then he now finally got a run in the team, and he really proven himself. And as McMill rapped, opportunities are like they don't come. They're like interceptions. They get taken. So he took his opportunities. He intercepted whatever ball was going to somebody else, and he did it. So Ahmad, that should be the kudos for the week. Overall kudos is Ahmad, especially this is debut week. I think everybody is giving the same donkey of the week, but I'm going to add something because Ayo says donkey of the week is Pep and Man City. You said donkey of the week is Pep and Man City. My bigger donkey is the Man City captain, Kyle Walker, who was such a donkey that he was diving on the pitch to get a
flopped.
He flopped, and then not only that, then how long that he dived for that came and called him a violent after the game. I said the Oscar goes to. I mean, like, man, I'm sure Walker, wherever you are, man, you're feeling very bad. What a week you guys have had. Walker, it's about time you leave Manchester. You're one of the weaklings now in that team. So please, but you're a good actor. You might find something after football. Just saying. Look, guys, I told you guys I'll be smiling all week, all day. So. And the way it's going, I'll be smiling all week. And I know Yemi will be smiling all week. Please, Arsenal fans, come for me. I've got you. I'll be waiting for you guys on the 12th of January again. We can resume these hostilities anytime. Corner ball will not work next month. I promise you. Yes, I'm confident. I remember what I said last time. Manchester United is making top 4. Count me on the end of season. You can quote me on that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. That's what I'll live with. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. We are Footy Fantasy on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Footy 80 Fantasy on Twitter. We'll see you again next Sunday at the same time. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Stay safe. Bye, y'all.
You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing will reach your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's footy fantasy. Yeah, watching footy fantasy. Footy fantasy. It is sure say the thing go meet your football me. Your football me. Banter from rival.